What's going on YouTube? It's Tony Montega, aka Mr. Mark Twain. Today I'll be rehousing my G Rosea. The first enclosure I had, if you can take a look, it's actually too big for it, and I noticed it started to climb out. So what I did was I went and I bought a smaller enclosure from Sterilite. As you can see, I already started to glue in little parts. That's where the water dish will be hanging from once this dries. And I already put the temperature thermometer in there. Right now I'm using a glue gun, and I'm just gonna glue the actual water dish on this tray so it holds up and stays off the dirt as much as possible. I noticed that they can put a lot of dirt substrate inside the water dish, and when you're paying for the water and giving them spring water, like I live in New York City, it can actually start to become costly when you're having to refill this so much and so often. So see, so I'm gonna glue around the sides as well. Make sure that it is connected as possible as it possibly can. And the next thing I'm going to do before I put the substrate in is I'm going to start to put holes in using my soldering gun. So I'm going to put circular motion holes in. There's a good amount right here. I'm going to repeat the same process over here. It's best to do this definitely before. You can't actually do all of this when the tarantula's in the enclosure, but to let it dry, and because it can let off a chemical that actually could harm the tarantula. So the tarantulas are away from the area as of now, and they're all in respective enclosures. Okay, so that looks about straight. And notice that I kept the holes above the line. I mean, the substrate could probably end up touching it a little bit, but that's not a big deal. But I want at least this much substrate in it. So it's pretty good where it is. And so I'll put this down right here. And let's say if I did put a hole too close and I want to block it up, I just take a part of this Dixie cup that I cut, like so, and I could just put glue on the holes that I did clip, and I'll just seal them up so no substrate actually gets out. We all make mistakes. So that'll close that hole up, and if there's another one, yeah, there is. So I'm going to time lapse this. I'm going to finish this up. And then when I get to the rest of it, I'll get right back to you. Okay, so we're back. Put the holes in the top, as you can see. Try to keep them all even. I'm not saying you have to keep them even or you have to be that neat, but I'm trying to do the best I can for my tea. Okay, so now that that's finished, my tarantulas have their own personal stuff. I don't use, I have my brush to wrinkle it along. I have my throgs. I use this to pat down dirt and to push the prey towards the tarantula. So I'm going to grab some of the old substrate that was actually in it because it was still fairly fresh. It hasn't lived in this cage for a year. This is his old hide, and I just, put the plants and stuff on top of it. I'll put some dirt on top of it. Try to give it a good dope look. Okay. I know the rosé is like their substrate dry. Some of the substrate is not going to be dry because some of it is wet at the bottom. So my tea is just going to have to do with that. I'll be putting some dirt from side to side. I'll get right back to you in 1 second. Okay, you seem to be all wrapped up. And I'm going to let you look at it right now. As you can see, all done. All I got to do is add the water, and it's a go. Spring water. And I'll be putting it in and giving you a holler, guys.